Hey YouTube, what's going on? As you can see by the title of this video, I went down to an amazing vintage toy store down in Columbus, Ohio, called Big Fun. I think it used to be in Cleveland, or at least there was another store in Cleveland. So I don't know if there was one in Columbus and Cleveland, or did they move one from Columbus or one from Cleveland to Columbus? But regardless, I went there last Saturday. Had a decent budget, some things in mind that I was looking for, and I found a couple of those things. The first thing I'm going to show you some comic books I picked up. I also, when I go down to Ohio, I always go to Pack Rat Comics, and they had a con not con going on. They had some vendors there. They had some local artists. Their back issues were 25% off. They had some giveaways. So yeah, so it was pretty cool. I stopped in. I bought a few books. Nothing crazy. I bought 233 of Daredevil, continuing my quest of 25th anniversary books. I picked up 236 Daredevil cover. These are $3 a piece, so 25% off of that. And a really nice copy of 239. And then I picked up issue 13 of Hawkman. So yeah, I had like $25 on my wallet, and I was like $24.50, so it worked out perfect. And then yeah, so the stuff I got from the Big Fun from the toy show. First off, they gave me threw in a couple of freebies and little plastic cockroaches and a Big Fun sticker. I'll probably give that to a guy that I work with. His son is a big Godzilla collector, so I'll probably give that to him. Like I said, there's certain things I was going down there looking for. I don't collect too many like toy lines, but the one I do recently collecting is the Justice League Unlimited figures. So they had some loose ones in a little bin. First of all, this store is amazing. it's not very big. It's probably 20 feet wide. It's basically two main aisles with display cases in the middle. So yes, I bought Orion. So yeah, he was $5. And it was pretty busy in there, so I didn't want to spend all day in there looking, but I could have spent all day in there looking. Yeah, the counter, they have behind the counter stuff set up, and every inch of the space is maximized. Like I said, everything's floor to ceiling. They had a display case of like Secret War stuff. They had one display pretty much at eye level of G.I. Joe, He-Man, Transformers, Star Wars, any line you can imagine. Loose stuff, box stuff. They had some beater vintage Star Wars figures for like $5 a piece. Like I said, and they had these drawers. They had Justice League Unlimited figures. They had Batman animated figures. They had some Ninja Turtle stuff. Tons of Carter stuff. So much stuff. It was crazy. I also picked up from Justice League Unlimited the Atom. I could probably find him, but I'm not gonna find that little guy. So I got him in the package. I think he was 20, which I was happy with. And then right next to that case was all the superpower stuff, and below that was all their DC Universe stuff, and they had everything from $20 figures to $110 figures. But they had one of the few remaining superpowers that I'm looking for. There's only a few that I'm looking for. I still need Superman, and I want a Martian Manhunter with a cape. They didn't have Superman, they had Martian Manhunter. Didn't have the cape, but they did have the Joker with his mallet and his tails. He was 40. And I was happy to pay that. There's really no paint chips or paint scrapes on this. It comes with a little stand, which I like, and his action still works. So yeah, so that's cool. Glad to pay 40 for that. It's pretty much right where I was at to pay for that. I picked up one of my previous videos. I picked up a couple of 18 figures. So now this time I picked up Face. He's not in the great shape. I think he was $12. which is fine. Now I just need the B.A. Baracus one, which is going to be probably the most expensive one I'm going to pay for. I did see off the ceiling they had some hanging down. They had the Murdoch helicopter, which I may be looking into picking up that. I think that'd look nice. I got some hooks in my ceiling over here by my shelves, which would be nice to have. I don't have any other weapons or backpacks or anything, but I don't care. Just having it. I never had him growing up, but I did have Murdoch and Hannibal. The only two I had, so yeah. Definitely happy to pick him up. And then this is one of the things I was definitely going down there for. I've always wanted a nice vintage Chewbacca with his weapon. It comes with a little stand. I think he was 28. I've seen him in the past for loose for $5, but nothing with the weapon. And the ones that did see the weapons, they were like $20. But the paint was pretty chipped off, and so I thought he was in good shape for 28. And he's probably the only Star Wars figure that I really care to have, based off of what I had as a child. He was always my favorite character, so definitely picked him up. And then I have they actually put in a special bag for me. That was nothing crazy, but this is one figure that I've always wanted, and I believe we've always seen the ads in the magazines or in the comics for these action figures. And it's not He-Man, but it's sort of He-Man related. I do collect his comics. He's not complete. He's missing a couple things on his helmet, but he has his cape. And for $25, I picked up a nice Warlord. They had one on card. I didn't want to know what that one cost, but for $25, I was definitely happy for that. He's only $25. That was a no-brainer. This is the first one I've ever seen in the wild. So yeah, so I said he has cape. I'm sure he's had a sword or whatever, but I was seeing the ads for these in the comics, so definitely happy to pick him up. So he's gonna look nice on my 80s shelf. So yeah, that's all. I picked up a pack of baseball cards, but nothing crazy about that. Yeah, so that's just a really quick video. Stopped raining, so yes, nice day out on that. But yeah, if you ever get a chance, if you're in the Columbus, Ohio area, definitely check out this store. If there's anything you collect or just something to relive your childhood, it's it's awesome. But like I said, it's downtown. It's on High Street. There's not much parking along the street. I had parked in a parking garage like a block and a half away, which wasn't very far. It cost me like $5 to park. Nothing crazy. So yeah, definitely if you're in the area, check it out. You won't be disappointed. Even if you don't buy that, it's just really cool to look and relive that childhood memories, stuff you had when we were kids. So yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next one. Thanks. Bye.